Shut up.
Time to head to Zoc.
God!
Here's something. Something. Hi, I'm Stephanie Strange. Want to hear something scary?
I remember the ghost guy.
In honor of National Hispanic Heritage Month, we're bringing a chilling tale from El Salvador. Be warned though, you don't want to hear the terrible noise of death at midnight. But if you do, make sure to close your windows tight, and no matter what you do not let it lure you outside. But it might be harder than you think.
There's a window right there.
In the dead of night, Dr. Terencio Perez received an urgent call to attend to a sick child at home.
What they say?
The little girl lay in her bed, trembling and barely conscious.
Damn!
Dr. Perez recognized the gravity of the situation. The girl needed immediate hospitalization. However, the family lacked the financial means to afford it. Acting swiftly, he offered the girl a comforting glass of water and advised the family to ensure she stay hydrated. With empathy and compassion, Dr. Perez assured them that when they were able to gather the necessary funds, they could reach out to him to provide his services. And with that, Terencio departed. He headed into town to the only bar still open. He made his way down the dark, empty streets. An odd chill moved through the air. Feeling something was off, he picked up his pace. Without knowing why, he whipped around to see who was following him. But no one was in sight. The streets lay silent except for the echo of his footsteps and the unsettling creak of an ancient, rusted wheel. He inhaled deeply, scanning his surroundings once more, challenging whoever lurked in the shadows to reveal themselves. In front of him stood a familiar face, a man he had known since his childhood. But this time, he was no longer among the living. So how could he possibly still be here? Terencio rubbed his eyes and fixed his gaze on the man. "Do you remember me?" the man snarled, gripping Terencio's collar. And of course he did. It was a priest who had nurtured him throughout his childhood. The priest shook his head in a mix of disappointment and disdain. He made it clear to Terencio that he was well aware of every atrocious act he had committed. When Terencio denied any wrongdoings, the priest swiftly...
Can we take a minute? Why the fuck is he so fucking ugly?
Why are you fat?
Because I eat a lot. But why is he so...
Oh,
Why is he so ugly?
He felt like it.
God.
He released his grip, causing Terencio to collapse onto the ground. The priest then said, "Ah, Terencio, it seems your true nature has finally caught up to you. Your deceitful deeds shall be unveiled before all. Listen closely, for I shall reveal your despicable acts. Oh, Terencio, the secrets no longer reside solely within the depths of your twisted conscience. Let me recount the tale of your wickedness." Terencio then scoffed. "Oh, please." Then the priest continued, "No, Terencio, your transgressions must be exposed. After you departed our humble town, you shamelessly sought refuge with the unsuspecting villagers. You warmed your way into the life and home of a kind-hearted man named Juan Tepa. And Juan Tepa, who showed mercy, allowed you to dwell under his roof and learn the secrets of herbal medicine. Under the guise of healing, you gained their trust, and yet when the plague befell our desperate community, you seized the opportunity for personal gain." Terencio then interjected, "I never meant to..." The priest then said, "Silence, Terencio. You took advantage of the suffering, exploiting the vulnerable for your own financial benefit. The sick and helpless who needed you the most were met with insatiable greed. Your actions are just unforgivable."
Yeah, well,
Terencio nodded his head, but the priest then continued, "Indeed, you did. Your betrayal of trust and your callous disregard for human life shall not..."
He reminds me of Squidward.
The nose isn't right.
It's long. Okay, then it's a fucking villager from fucking Minecraft.
They're square.
That's basically a fucking square nose.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's a rectangle.
Kill yourself.
Go unpunished. The townspeople, enraged by your malevolence, rightfully banished you from our midst. But it doesn't stop there. You found a ship headed for San Salvador. You told everyone you were a doctor, but you lied. You said you would treat anyone who was ill if you could just have your free passage. But you only tended to those who had money. Your words fall upon deaf ears. Terencio, your true character has been uncovered, and no amount of remorse can undo the harm you have inflicted upon our community. May your exile serve as a constant reminder of the darkness within your soul. And even though you made a vow to me before I died that you would always be a good person and help those in need. Terencio scoffed once more. He made that ridiculous promise ages ago. What's more, he demanded to know how the priest was there. I watched you die, he said. You're dead. And so are you, the priest replied, smiling. Terencio's jaw dropped in shock. He patted himself, but his hand passed straight through his body like a ghost. The priest informed him that because so many people had died from his refusal to help them, Terencio must now wander around and collect the bones of all his victims. He would use them to build a carreta, a chariot, one like the rusty old wagon he heard when the priest first arrived. And so Terencio wandered for years collecting what remains of those who died at his hand. Piece by piece, bone by bone, he builds a chariot of death filled with the skulls and bones of the dead who were left to rot. The priest damned Terencio for eternity until he laid to rest every single bone from his victims in an appropriate cemetery. He would never be a doctor again, simply a bone collector, forced to push the weeping wagon. Legend has it that during the bewitching hours of midnight, Terencio roams the towns and villages of El Salvador, calling out the names of those who have wronged others. In the distance, the eerie sounds of chains rattling and the bones cracking fill the air. And if you're truly unlucky, you might chance upon the haunting sight of Dr. Terencio's perpetually driven cart, burdened with the skulls of the deceased.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no! No!
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. If you're looking for therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Just fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/scary to get 10% off your first month today. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/scary.
Yep, okay. So, Abigail. Okay, what do you think of that video?
So great.
So great, okay, that's a fucking lie. Oh, I think that it kind of seemed like that was from Mexican Native folk tour. So yeah, that's what I figured. Let's go down to some of her old videos because they were better in my opinion.
My opinion, I don't like them.
Why?
Not entertaining.
Don't like Snarled? I like Snarled.
Never said that.
I think she's cool.
He.
You want to do Ghost Guide?
No.
Well, we're going to do Ghost Guide if I can find it. Start uploads. Damn, she did 1,000 videos. Oh, this is probably not going to make it into cut. So you can say whatever the fuck you want, I guess. Something scary, that's podcast.
Oops.
Okay, you want to do... Which one you want to do here? I'll let you choose that one. Oh, you're down so fucking fast.
Look.
Before you click on it, tell me, okay? You don't want to do none of these, do you?
I'm looking.
No, Sorry used to give me nightmares. What about you?
They're watching.
Really? Miss yourself ones?
Nope.
Okay, hurry up. Okay, it shouldn't be taking this long.
Yeah.
What about that one? You hurry up. Don't click on it. God, this is not PC. I'm so confused in
Where'd
this.
my paper go?
Oh wait, okay.
With Flex Shop.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna do this one.
I'll be here.
Shush. So guys, Malone, she has left. So we are going to, okay, so which one are we gonna watch? 5, 4, 3,
Wait.
2,
Exactly.
1. We're going to do the Bees of Orch. That's how you say it. You gonna come or let me watch it?
You can watch. I'll still be here though.
Okay. Please be so scary. Wait. Add. Now we skipping.
I'm using this next semester for school.
Okay.
Welcome to the stream, where our passions roll and communities get hyped. We don't.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of spoopy horror, creepy occurrences, and especially anything inspired by true stories. But when I need a break, I whip out my phone and spend some time with best fiends. This game has over
Sapphire. One isn't scary.
I love
Click, click, shh. The following story was inspired by a submission from Ellie. Legend has it that in a rural Navajo town called Many Farms, there was once a fruit tree orchard behind the lake. The town's less fortunate would steal from it late at night when the owner was asleep. When he finally caught on, the owner was so angry that he asked the devil to turn him into a tall, hairless, and incredibly fast monster to scare away the thieves. The orchard may be gone now, but all the town...
Wait.
Inspired by a submission from... Legend has it that in a rural Navajo town called Many Farms, there was once a fruit tree orchard behind the lake. The town's less fortunate would steal from it. Once a fruit tree that in a rural lake, the town's less fortunate would steal from it.
Hey, come on, man. Let's steal some fruit.
Late at night when the owner, the devil, scare away the thieves. The orchard may be gone now, but all the town's elders scare away the
Oh, what the hell is that, man? Oh, hell no. Fuck this fruit.
thieves. The orchard may be gone now, but all the town's elders claim that the monster is still there, waiting to attack anyone who comes near his property. Click, click, shh, they'd say.
Shush.
That's the sound he makes, like a horse clicking and dragging his feet. If you ask any of the townspeople about this legend, they'll tell you about a man named Coy. He was working for a construction company building a new gas station. If the work went into the night, he was paid overtime, so some nights he would stay as late as 3 a.m. But every morning, his grandmother, who he lived with, would beg him to come home earlier because she was afraid of the click-click shh. Coy would always laugh her off. Does it sound like this, Grandma? He'd tap his cheap, oversized boots twice on the ground and drag them, while chuckling at his poor grandma's reaction. You listen to me, young man. Something lives by that lake. I've heard it, she'd insist. But he'd pretend not to hear her as he ran off for work. One night, when he was working late, a pair of elders on his crew began trading their own stories. The first described in eerie detail a tall figure with jaundiced yellow eyes that crept through the trees along the lake, watching him. The other claimed he'd run for his life once after fishing at the lake at night. Coy found himself taking a pause in his drilling work to hear the stories. When his foreman walked up and told him to get back to work, "Sorry if we scared you," the first elder said. "Those old stories don't scare me," Coy replied. But seeing the fear in his eyes, the first elder gave a knowing nod. That night, driving home from work, Coy's truck suddenly shut down. The battery had died, which meant he would have to walk the rest of the way home. As he started the 5-mile trek, he noticed the beauty of the moon shining down on the lake and chuckled to himself about the elder's stories. And that's when he heard it. Click, click, shh. Coy stopped and turned around, but nothing was there. He walked on, and there it came again. Click, click, shh. Thinking it must be the elders from work messing with him, Coy stopped and said, "Very funny. You can come out now." Click, click, shh. Coy turned again to see a figure in the tree line. It was tall and shaped like a human. Growing angry, Coy slung a rock at it when, suddenly, it charged at him. Terrified, Coy ran for his life. The click-click followed his exact footsteps. He ran faster and faster, but the monster was catching up. As the end of the lake came into view, he was certain he'd be safe if he could just get to the other side. But then, Koi's oversized boots came loose, and he tripped and fell over. He heard the click-click shh as he turned to see its piercing yellow eyes and 6-inch claws glistening in the moonlight. He was tall, at least 7 feet.
What the fuck? Why do you look like that?
Cause you felt like it.
No, he's looking at. Goddamn.
Pale, hairless skin was covered in scars and goosebumps. His mouth looked like a shark's, several rows of teeth protruding. Koi looked up at the monster and whispered, "I'm sorry, grandmother." No one saw Koi ever again, or so they say. So, pay a visit to many farms. You just might hear the click-click shh in the night. But if you do, don't bother running. You won't be fast enough. Thank you to all of...
Damn. That's crazy. Again, guys. Oh, fuck. Shit. A little bit slow. Anyways, go to Sapphire. Put on notifications. And, we're gonna do one more story. Let's do Ladies in the Woods.
Oh, why that face so damn bad?
There's one thing you need to do
Another
before buying
ad.
anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you...
Okay.
Brad, are you just trying to scare us? Shh. Do you guys see that? Hey, I'm Sapphire. Want to hear something scary?
Episode 2, Ladies in the Woods.
Our next chapter is inspired by an encounter that Maggie and her family experienced. Maggie, her parents, her older cousin Brad, and 2 friends, Ethan and Angel, went camping at Henry W. Coe State Park in California. It was her first time camping, so she was incredibly excited, but also a little scared. The thought of being out in the open, protected only by a layer of nylon, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But her family assured her that she'd be safe, and they would have a lot of fun. People go camping all the time. What's the worst that could happen? They arrived at the park at night and set up their campsite. While her parents went to sleep, Maggie and her friends were still up, talking in their huge shared tent. At about 3 a.m., Brad decided he wanted a little adventure. Hey, have you heard of the legend of China Hole? Ew, that sounds gross, said Maggie. Don't be immature. China Hole is one of the more challenging hikes in the park. Along the trail is a creek. Legend has it, a married couple were walking the trail when all of a sudden, her husband threw her into the creek. He held her underwater until she stopped struggling. She had been cheating on him, and he wanted to end her life.
What the
And now
fuck?
her angry spirit still resides in that creek and pulls down any men who look directly into the water. And the weirdest thing is, corpses will appear in the park, dead from drowning, but nowhere near the creek. You're so full of shit, Angel said. Our campsite isn't that far from the creek.
Wait, let me go back.
Appear in the park.
Bro, there's a creepy lady that was drown people in the creek.
Dead from drowning, but nowhere near the creek.
You're so full of shit.
You're so full of shit, Angel said. Our campsite isn't that far from the creek. Why don't we go find out?
Oh.
Ethan, being the
Yo,
only other
your
boy
life
in the
for some
group,
stupid
was
shit.
not too thrilled about the idea of visiting a man-hating ghost, but he didn't want to look like a scaredy cat in front of Brad. Let's do it, he said in his most convincing voice. I'm in, said Angel. All eyes were now on Maggie. Brad was always doing stuff like this. He loved messing with his younger cousin. And Maggie knew that if she said no, she would not hear the end of his teasing. Fine, let's go. Lit cell phones in hand, they quietly crept out of their tent and toward the hiking trail. The only sounds in the air were the light crunch. Let's go. Lit cell phones in hand, they quietly crept out of their tent and toward the hiking trail. The only sounds in the air were the light crunching of their sneakers on the dirt and a gentle wind blowing. So when a bush rustled, they all jumped and pointed their cell phones toward the sound. They stared in silence, waiting to see if it would move again. It was probably just a lizard or something, Brad said. Let's keep moving. They continued to slowly make their way toward the supposedly haunted creek. Brad suddenly stopped, causing Ethan, Angel, and Maggie to run into him. What are you doing?
What the fuck?
Brad, Ethan, Angel, and the supposedly haunted creek. Moving.
Okay,
they continued to slowly make their way toward the supposedly haunted creek. Brad suddenly stopped, causing Ethan, Angel, and Maggie to run into him. What are you doing? Shh. Brad was completely still. Brad, are you just trying to scare us? Shh. Do you guys see that? Brad slowly lifted his cell phone higher and higher until, in the distance, they could make out the faint outline of a woman. They all screamed and bolted back towards the campsite. They hastily zipped up the tent and hid in their sleeping bags. Maggie was trying to rationalize what they had just saw. Maybe it was just a shadow that looked like a woman. Either way, she was glad to be back in the tent. Then, she heard what sounded like footsteps outside of the tent. Slowly, she lowered her sleeping bag. On the tent was the silhouette of a woman.
Oh, hell no.
Maggie quickly retreated back into her bag. Eventually, she was able to fall asleep. The next morning, Maggie woke up to an empty tent. She heard voices outside, and so she went out to see what was going on. A few police officers were talking to her friends and parents. One of the officers saw Maggie and called for her to come over. Hi, miss. Can you recall anything strange happening last night? Maggie thought about the woman they saw on the trail and the silhouette outside their tent. No. What's going on? We need you to come down to the station. Maggie and her family were taken down to the police station where they all had to take polygraph tests about what happened the night before. After they all passed, the officer told them what was going on. The body of an elderly woman was found a few yards from their campsite.
Damn!
How did she die? Brad asked. All the kids were wondering the same thing. Multiple stab wounds, the officer said.
Oh.
They all let out a small sigh of relief. The legend of China Hole wasn't real. But then, who was that woman they saw in the darkness? Was it the woman who was murdered? Or her murderer? And whoever killed that woman, why did they spare Maggie and her family? Needless to say, Maggie hasn't been camping since. A special thank you to Maggie for providing the inspiration for this story. Like this video.
Holy shit. I'm gonna like that video. Damn. That was crazy. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Short reaction. It was good though. I liked it. There will be more coming soon. But yeah, thank you guys.